What's going on social media? So we're on episode 81. So with Bottoms Up, and we're still doing the small to mid-size enterprise talk. And today's topic is why building a community is so important, not just online, but also in your personal life. So, and we have a guest tonight, is Gabe Leal. You know, he's kind of a LinkedIn celebrity. I think a lot of you already know him. But he does a great job at sharing all the creators out there that are doing live streams. He gives us all shout outs and supports us. So I feel he's perfect when it comes to talking about community building, because tell us a little about your LinkedIn journey, Gabe.
But of course, it started out with me just learning, wanting to learn how to do live streaming. I kind of found a few guys who were actually doing this on LinkedIn, and it piqued my interest as far as like, hey, I wanted to start learning how to create. These guys were, you know, the two gentlemen that I started following, they were, you know, doing this to kind of share human interest stories in people in general. And, you know, at the time I thought to myself, wow, what a way to reach people. This is cool. So I learned and started going out and discovering other people doing this, and started reaching out to them and started learning how to learn the art of live streaming. And once I decided to go ahead and take the leap, I mean, it literally was taking a leap. It was me with like bad lighting. You know, I think I threw like a white sheet behind me as my background, and I said, okay, you know, sitting on the table and just a laptop and going, let's go. And that kind of started the process and the journey. And as I went along, just out of curiosity of wanting to learn how to get better as a creator, so I started to research, started to do a lot of, you know, self-learning on how to do a lot of this stuff. And that was where I knew that I had found something, you know, that I thought was part of me, and I knew it really touched the nerve inside of me of wanting to keep going and getting better at it. So once I started doing that and formulating a show, I started putting that together, and I love the comment. Thank you, Nick. Aldrich is yeah, that's right. He's slacking tonight. I don't know what's going on. Oh, my audio's quiet. So let me check my audio levels. How's that? Let's see, guys. This is what you do when you do on the fly.
Yeah,
so,
you sound a little bit muffled, but I guess it's okay. I can still make up.
Yeah, I guess so. Let me see if it's.
Kev, you're on mute.
I got my.
I'm on mute.
Yeah.
Okay. Can everybody hear me? Here we go. Turn my mic up a little bit here. Hello,
Still
there's like a background noise.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on just a second. Replace speaker. Let's go to. Don't want the webcam. I want my headphones here.
That's
testing 1, 2, 3.
It was slightly better. It was slightly better a little bit. Yeah, a little bit.
Okay, turn off the echo cancellation. Maybe that helps.
Nope.
They have. Oh, it doesn't help. Okay, cool.
It got worse.
Oh, it got worse. It seems to be coming through the PC. That's what Nick's saying, and I do agree. For some reason, it's not picking up my headphones. Hold on. Let's fix this.
No problem.
This is the fun of technology.
Okay, exactly. And this is what can happen. And so, hold on just 1 second. I have an answer to that. When we're doing this
That's good. Gabe is in a tornado. That's what Nick said.
That's a good one, Nick.
This is part of it, guys.
Let's get into the eye of the storm.
We haven't seen you for a while. How have you been?
Yeah. Okay, hold on.
How's life in the meta? I can hear myself.
Okay, we're fixing this. We're doing this on the live stream here, guys. Okay, let's see. We'll pick it up now. Let's see, testing. So the audio.
This is the fun part of live streaming.
Can you hear me? Hello, hello.
Nice.
Here we go. So
now you're in the middle of the tornado. We're all in the eye
there
of
you
the
go.
storm.
Exactly. We're out of it now. Here we go. So yeah, there's always something you can have to do to fix. This is what we call producing on the fly, folks. This happens. This is the fun of live streaming. So there you go. This is how it's done.
So Jeanette, what are you cooking?
That's right.
What's for dinner?
Hey, first of all, shout out to Jeanette who's watching. Number one, she had a new position that she started, right? Number two, she got nominated for one of LinkedIn's, don't let me screw it up, but I think LinkedIn's top voices in recruiting. And it's huge what she did, and that's pretty awesome that she's doing that. So there you go. But
that's awesome.
It is. It's incredible, and this is part. Again, this is what we're talking about: community, and seeing all of this around here. This is how did I know that? First of all, by watching what she does and being part of the community, seeing what she's sharing out on the platform on LinkedIn. So, but a part of it, like I was saying, is just the fact that in learning this process and learning how to become a better listener, a better creator. You got to pay attention to what others are doing and take note of it. And that's part of what I've started doing when I started putting together all these live streams. Because, like I was saying, as part of my journey, I was doing a show Monday through Friday, 5 nights a week. It's insane to do that. It's a lot of work. But you learn through the school of hard knocks. You learn through experience how to do what I just did and figured it out. Audio problems. Oh my God, I've had audio. Believe me, I've had other guests that it's happened to them, and you got to figure out on the fly of, hey, what's going on? What are you're troubleshooting on the fly. You're producing. You're going, okay, let's try this, try that, and it's just, and again, it becomes a muscle of doing it over and over again and saying, okay, I know what it might possibly be now. So you learn these things as you go along further in your journey, and you kind of evolve. It's like anything. So like, for example, what you do in marketing, you don't start out as a, you don't start out as a top-notch marketer and being able to reach. It's learning the process of doing it all. That's how you get better, and that's how you learn the skill. And, it's a value.
So I got a question for you, Gabe. So when you first hop on LinkedIn, what motivated you to hop on there and start doing the live show? What caught your attention to do that?
I have the exact question, but I want to also add on to that and what Nick commented, right? It's one thing to do a live stream like for us once a week. It's a totally different thing to do it 5 times a week. How did you arrive at that, right? What's the end game? Yeah.
Okay, so here's what it was. So first of all, getting on LinkedIn, I wanted to start doing video because I wanted to do something to challenge myself. I had taken on the approach of I'm going to challenge myself. I wasn't always the first person to be on camera. I didn't. I mean, I got baby photos where I'm crying in family photos. I was not the most photogenic person. I did not like doing it. So how do you get better at something and attack something that's your weakness? You work at it. You become better at it. Right. So that's where it started. I started just recording videos. And then once I saw live streaming and thought, holy crap, this is awesome. I need to try this. To keep myself sort of accountable that I was going to commit to this, I started doing it every day. Right.
Wow.
And then that was, I was doing 10-minute videos. Way too long to get reach, and way too long, but just babbling but learning the process along the way, right? And so the same thing with what I started doing with the live streaming. It was I started doing it every day very badly until I got better. And it's the process of getting getting in your reps. It's like going into a gym and working out. You're not going to get stronger by just lifting weights one time a week. And not to saying that's not good enough, but I'm saying, but if your objective is to gain muscle mass and lean, you got to go in there and actually work at it and everything else that goes around. The same thing with what I was doing with live streaming, learning how to communicate with people, learning how to do interviews, learning how to do all of
Awesome.
these things. It was practice, practice, practice until I got better and I felt that I found a stride. But it doesn't. It's what I'm telling new streamers now, because the announcement that everybody, if you have not heard, it was announced today that if you have creator mode turned on your LinkedIn profile and you've
Mm-hmm.
already applied for LinkedIn
Mm-hmm.
Live, you now have access. Go to your page. You'll find out. You also have access to creating newsletters. So I don't know if you guys got bombarded with newsletter invitations today on LinkedIn, but people are creating them like crazy. And it's just like what I'm telling people in live streaming. If you're going to get in and do that and creating, it takes consistency. Um,
Mm.
you're going to have to sit there and put in the work, and you know it. It's not going to be easy, but there's value in it. And people starting to discover that, and I think that's what LinkedIn's like. Okay, look, we have to take the reins off and let more
Mm.
people start streaming. So, like tomorrow, I've already started working on my calendar for tomorrow. I already have 20 plus shows that I'm going to be adding in there, on top of all the one-off pop-up streams people were doing,
Mm-hmm.
or people outside of my network that I haven't discovered yet, that are, because I'm following all these live streams, the algorithm is now kicking them into my feed.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm finding and discovering new people. So,
Wow.
um, but that's part of it. Is just taking is there you go, man. Hey, do what you got to do, man. Ain't no shame in it, brother. But that's part of it. Is part is going out there and um, you know start the process of whatever your why is, your objective is, your goals are,
Mm-hmm.
and start just cultivating a way to achieve them, to put in the work and the time. And it have you ever heard of saying that you create your own luck? That's
Mm.
part of it. Is you want doors to open and opportunities to open.
Mm-hmm.
Keep doing it, man. Keep going at it. You'll find you know you'll find ways that people will be like, oh my gosh, I never expected this to happen. I never knew I
Mm.
was going to be able to get in contact with this person, or I was going to find this client, or do whatever it is, you know. And that's the same approach to live streaming, what I'm doing now.
Mm.
No,
Awesome.
and I think, Gabe, you brought an awesome point, right? So as we were talking about, the importance of building a community, both in your personal life and online, is so important, because you're talking about how you got into the journey of live streaming and how you met different folks, while you were doing it. You got connected with all these creators. That's how I got connected with you, because I was one of the early ones live streaming, and then someone told me, hey, go check out Gabe's show. So I was like, okay, who is this tornado guy? Let's go check him out. And then I asked, hey, you want to be on my show? And one thing led to another. And
Another.
like, Nick, Jeanette was just starting. I remember the first time I talked to June, she had just lost her job,
Well, yeah.
and she was job hunting, so she was on LinkedIn, and then she connected with the Bottoms Up crew, and we had her as a guest. And then some of the others, slowly we got connected with Travis, and now we're part of the Discord group, and then there's like a whole community
Entity
within
now,
that group, right?
exactly. That built around
So
that.
let's talk about that a little bit. Why is it so important to build community?
Well, number one, it's not only it's not well. First of all, I'm going to make a quick mention before I forget. I'm going to have to probably come on your show a third time because I feel that I've been cheated. See, the last time I came on here, I was on with Nick, and I only had Aldrich. Jeremy was not on the show. And now tonight I get here,
So
and
sorry.
now I got Jeremy, no Aldrich. So I'm gonna have to come back on here so I can get all four of the.
You-
I gotta get the whole group.
You didn't get the full bottoms up experience, yeah.
Exactly right. I didn't get it all right. I can't. It's
Not fair.
it's not fair. It's not fair. I feel cheated. So that's one thing. But in what we're talking about in community building, right? And I think it goes to the point of, just like you would take the approach in sales, it's about building relationships first, and how you connect with people and really show interest in individuals. You look at people as, this is an interaction, not a transaction. This is where
That's so good.
where I come here not to sell you on anything, just to be here to listen and partake in a conversation. Nothing may come of it except maybe a friendship, or or a very good acquaintance, and somebody that maybe at some point down the line you can be an echo chamber for me, or we can just connect. But that's part of it. It's just, in building that. And I think you do that enough times with enough people, it starts building a community, and these people understand that, you're not here to push anything on me. You're here to kind of, you're here to support me. You're here to be uplifting. You're here to be something that is part of this part of an environment that's greater than just us coming here to talk about business or anything else. I think that's where part of where what this live streaming community has kind of evolved into and developing is just people supporting people, and learning that it's more about collaboration and not competition. I'm not here to outdo you. I'm here to help you. I'm here to, in any way possible. If there's I've always talked about the circle of reciprocity, and how somebody helped me along my way, and now it's kind of my turn to kind of bring that around full circle and help somebody else. I mean, my journey started as, again, just a guy who was curious about doing this, and now that I've sit in the position of where now people see me as an authority on what I do, it's for me to the person who wants to reach out and say, hey, can you kind of tell me a little bit about this, or help me? And of course, my knowledge was gained through, other people's knowledge and experiences. It's what I've added to myself that's kind of just made it a little bit better. But again, that's part of what it is in building a community. This is why I'm pushing for this every day, because now I'm starting to see more and more creators show up on other people's shows, in their comments, engaging and creating interactions. I launched my business page today to help.
Oh, congrats.
Yeah, thank you so much. I've created a page to kind of be a sort of a hub for creators and people who wanting to go there, who can find resources to say, I want to create live streams. Like, what are you using behind you? Okay, cool. Here's a link. Check it out. And kind of give them value that they're searching for, that could help them take that next step into something that might be a very heavy part of their journey for that time or into the future. So I'm doing this because I feel like this is starting to become a movement, and is gaining traction here on LinkedIn. Because I'm seeing more and more people, and like what happened today, what I was telling you guys earlier, there's going to be more. There's another wave that's about to start coming, right? And all of a sudden, what are those people going to be wanting to do? They're going to want to be acquiring the knowledge that we already have as creators, right? And so I think it's our sort of responsibility to say, hey, let's help this next wave come through here. Let's, and we can all benefit from it. I mean, I think it's a win-win, because, we gain from what they have and experience and whatever their background is, and we help them kind of head them in the direction they want to go and give them a little guidance in doing this.
Isn't it crazy? You brought up a few key points, right? Like, hey, like paying back, the community and being able to support them and guide them. Isn't it crazy that there's still so many people that hop on social media and their core focus is just generating leads or just looking for transaction? But the key is, in order to be successful in social media, and I do it, as a company, that's what we do daily, right? Help clients find transaction via social media. But the truth is, the game is changing, and it's more important than ever to really leverage that community. Even brands like Starbucks understand that, Nike. It's about building people and not so much selling products and transactions. And that's where a lot of even brands that they get wrong. They come on social media and they try to do all this stuff, right? Instead of focusing on how do you create relationships?
Yeah.
And one thing lead to another. And I couldn't help to think about a show I've been watching. Have you two seen 1 Minute? Is Undercover Billionaire?
Yes.
I know the concept. I have not watched it, but I think I know the concept.
So like Grant Cardone, all these billionaires, they go undercover. They drop them in this small town. They give them $100, and supposedly these towns are pretty tiny. They don't know who they are, right? So their job is to take a company to $1 million. Is it in 90 days? It's something crazy.
Yeah, something.
Yeah, where they do evaluation and they have to build $1 million company, starting off with just $100 and a truck and a cell phone. But the first thing all these billionaires did is they got to know the people in the town, and they start building community versus trying to sell something. And that's something. It's like there was 4 different CEOs, and they said the exact same thing. Hey, get to know the community, get to know people, build relationships, and find opportunities through relationships. None of them said find opportunities through selling.
Yeah, exactly right. And that's the key, right? So if it's a consensus among these individuals who find ways to find solutions, what does that tell you? That kind of tells you that, hey, there is a formula. You're probably just not doing it right.
We are on the right track to become millionaires.
Yeah,
building communities. Give us some time, yeah.
Yeah, right. Because it's like anything. Any product can go extinct. It can go out of business. Even companies that have been in business for over 100 years, they can go bankrupt. They can close. I mean, we're starting to see companies that had been long-standing here in America going out of business because they don't evolve, and they don't take in the environment around them, the ever-changing environment. They don't know that, hey, they don't pivot, or they don't adapt to what they should be doing, because there's somebody else who's probably saying, you know what, this isn't a good way. I'm going to try this way, and it works, and people find value in it, and it makes, especially if it makes life easier. That's part of it. And that's kind of like what seeing companies, like I said, that have been here for hundreds of years, that were staples of, wealth and being a consensus of these are very valuable entities, all of a sudden now find themselves out of business. You find people now losing jobs and everything else because they don't change. And this is like, kind of what you were saying, Kevin, is everything around us is actually changing. And it's ever evolving. And if we don't evolve with it, we're going to get left behind. That's just the reality of change.
And I think with the pandemic, it's kind of pushed everything. It's kind of propelled everything forward.
It pushed everything in. It pushed everything exactly into what we were already doing.
Yep.
Now it's taken video, which where people probably were not so inclined to want to do, and pushed it face forward now as the central means of communication. I mean, how is it now that, hey, let's hop on the Zoom call? You can actually now go into, like, even in LinkedIn and create an instant meeting. Boom, instantly. Go meeting to meeting, connect, bam, have a conversation. You know, it's not even a phone call anymore. It's a click of a button, and it's have your camera ready. Come on, start talking. And this is what it is. This is the visual medium that we are. This is the virtual world that we live in now.
Yep.
And it's not going to change. So if you don't change with it and learn to adapt to it, you're going to have a hard time struggling doing business and doing anything around that.
And the crazy part is, like, people don't understand, like, it's not that hard of a switch, right? Going from, I know people go, oh, it's not the
right here.
same doing Zoom calls and whatever. At the end of the day, is building relationships. If you want to get to know your friends or build relationship with someone, you have to pick up the phone, talk to them, you know. And we've gone on shows where Gabe and us, we talk about relationships like dating, right?
Yeah.
In order to get to know a girl or a guy, you know, you got to go on dates. You got to talk to each other. You got to do these things. And it's the same thing online. And I don't know why it's so hard for people to grasp the concept. Like, they make it way complicated. I don't even know why people sell, like, $1,000 courses on how to build relationships online. It's like, come on, guys. It's not that hard. It doesn't require a funnel. It doesn't require a magic formula to 7 engagement posts, 8. Talk to people. Communicate. Be social.
Exactly.
You know? And it's
Use
like,
the gifts you already have. Use the gifts you already have. If you can talk, you can create.
Taking what you do, you know, offline and bring it online. You know, the same way, hey, if I ran into someone at a grocery store, I grabbed their phone number. Hey, you seem like a cool dude. Hey, we both like playing basketball. Hey, let's go hang out. Let's go play some basketball. It's no difference. You meet someone online. Like, I met Gabe. Hey, I noticed you're live streaming. I'm live streaming. Want to hop on my show? Sure. Hop on my show. 40 minutes. We started talking about, I think our first time you hop on our show, we talk about husband and wife or something. Right? I think we talk about sex, actually.
Yeah. Yeah, it was, because I think that's what kind of made Aldrich squirm me a little bit.
Yep.
You know, talking about it.
I remember the meal after sex. You know, I brought up ramen noodles. I think Aldrich's more a McDonald's guy.
Yeah.
Oh,
about pizza.
that's where the McDonald's joke came in. I had no idea, right?
Yep.
That was on.
Yep. And we got to know each other a little better.
Exactly.
We got a little more intimate. And then now it's like, hey, Gabe, you want to come back on my show? Sure. And we know each other. I know him first person. It's no different, people. Like, it doesn't start with an automated bot and go, hey, I have 4 courses. Do you want to buy it? And then, Kevin doesn't respond, so I'm going to hit him up again 3 days later. Hey, I have this course. It's like, if I didn't answer you the first time, I'm probably not going to answer you the second time.
Right, or the third, or the fourth.
Yep.
You know,
but by building relationships, guess what? If someone needs digital marketing and just happens Gabe might know someone, he might remember, hey, that's what Kevin does. Hey, here's a referral. You know? It's much better that way.
Yeah.
And it's just like those undercover billionaire says, you know, you meet people, you build relationships, and those people will know other people, and you showcase your value, and they're going to hand you those opportunities versus you trying to sell.
Yeah.
You know?
You're one conversation from meeting the right person.
Yep.
That's all it really is. You're just one conversation from meeting the right person. So it could be go ahead, Jeremy. I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, you finish what you had to say. I'm going to throw in something different.
Okay, yeah, I was just saying, you know, whether it's in your personal life, your business life, whatever it is, that's what it is, man. You find those people, you make it interesting, and you kind of go forward, and that's how you build.
Dad.
Yes, buddy.
See, that makes the show great.
Mom said she
Huh?
Mom said it's too loud.
Oh, okay, go. Too loud the TV. Okay, we'll keep it down.
Okay, I was gonna say that I like what you guys are saying, talking about, because where I'm in my field, right, in retail, right, like Kevin, you mentioned about selling things, and I just want to point out very quickly in terms of the change that we see in retail. In the past, we all know all these loyalty clubs, VIP clubs. Is that the same as a community? No, because those are really more transactional based, right? You follow this a newsletter. You're part of the VIP club, Nike or whoever. There are new products they tell you, right? And then you buy it from them. Maybe even have exclusive access to certain limited stuff, yeah, price discounts and all that. So that isn't exactly a community, because that's really more of a loyalty club, yeah. But that versus a community, you see a lot of what these brands are doing to build a community is that they put a purpose behind it, and you identify with it, and you follow with it, and you discuss, in a sense that the organization, or rather the brand, is no longer the authority, so to speak. You're at the same level. Yeah, your peers. You are all coming together to put yourselves behind a purpose, a cause. It could be save the ocean, sustainability, cut down on plastics, whatever it is, or women's rights, or whatever. But that's the difference, right? When you put it in the commercial sense. It is still run or backed by a organization, a brand, but they're not trying to sell anything. They're just rallying, come everybody, right? But what you achieve is a group of very loyal community members. They not necessarily buy from you, but guess what? If they identify with your cause, who are they going to bring the money to, right? So it's kind of like when you build a community elsewhere, be it online or on social media, you're really just there to provide value. You might not necessarily want to be selling anything. You collaborate to build a better future, or you collaborate to all improve on your live stream skills, yeah? Or you come together to help each other find jobs, or refer, whatever that is. So I think that's what makes a difference. Yeah, it's really the collaboration and rallying behind a certain cause or something that's of common interest, rather than selling. Yeah, I think when you get that right, you would have got the concept of building community and why it's important.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the power of what community and collaboration is. I mean, two of the biggest YouTube streamers, Mark Rober and Mr. Beast, are putting together an initiative to take a pound of waste out of the ocean every day. So, they've been doing shows going on, like I think they went on Jimmy Kimmel Live. They were talking about this. I mean, and these are guys creating videos and live streaming. What does that tell you about the power of what we're doing here, and how it can do exactly what you were just talking about, Jeremy? Where, hey, you get behind a cause, you get behind a purpose. It's not so much about what we're selling; it's about what we're trying to do, it's an initiative to change our world, change our environment, change things that are around us, and we all have the ability to do that in our communities.
And the crazy thing is, like, as human, is our nature to want to be a part of something, to want to be connected. That's why you have churches. That's why you have religion. Synagogues and all these things, because we are created to want to connect. And I mean, this is not new. It's been ages.
Yes.
And if you look at history itself, these people didn't just stand behind something and get killed for no reason. It's because they believe in the cause and they rally up into a community. And look at the impact when you have a community. Wars are started. There's good things that happen and bad.
Yeah.
And I think the only difference now is we have these tools to make it even easier.
Exactly.
You have technology. We're more connected than ever from a global perspective. Just like I met Jeremy. He's all the way in Singapore. I'm in Kansas City, Missouri.
I'm in Dallas, Texas.
Never been there.
Yep.
Yeah.
And, we've been like friends for almost 2 years now. Yep. And I've never met him in person. you know, but I feel more connected with Jeremy than, some of the people that live, my neighbors, for example. I probably know Jeremy more throughout the pandemic because I see him every Wednesday night.
Yeah, exactly. Right. And that's,
You
So
know.
my secret wish is really to build this community. So I know now, Gabe, you're in Dallas, right? You said, and Kevin's in Kansas. So if I ever be in US, I'll have this like LinkedIn tour. I go and bunk in with every one of you.
No, for real.
there you go, man. Hey, that's
One
part of
friend in each city.
There you go, brother. That's where, I think as far as like what you're talking about, your neighborhood now is expanded. It's bigger. You're everywhere. Your neighborhood is everywhere you want it to be with whoever you want to be. If it's somebody in Singapore, in Australia, the UK, you can find those people who have that you connect with and have commonalities with and learn, and you can have a real relationship. You know,
Yep.
who says that
Yep.
real relationships don't exist with having to meet somebody face to face?
Yep.
I mean, you can have those conversations, and that's why I said this is the medium that we're in. This is what we do now. This is how things get passed along. This is how information is taught. This is how everything business is conducted. These are exactly, you know, what the power of video and being able to communicate. Guess what? In front of a camera with people, it, it has. This is the way that things are going to continue to be. I don't see things regressing back to where they were pre-pandemic
Mm.
anymore.
Mm.
I just don't. There's
Nope.
just too. To me, it's just like what we've already started innovating, keep pushing, and
Yeah.
that's where they're going.
And I know there's some audience out here that might not agree with, Mark Zuckerberg and the whole Meta and Facebook. But at the end of the day, that's where it is. I mean, it's not even where we're going. We're already there.
There.
And I hate to break the news. It's not just Facebook. I mean, Apple, Google, they're already creating the metaverse. And we talked about it, I think, back in August in one of our episodes. It's happening. The technology's already here. It's not a, hey, let's get there.
Yeah.
It's here. And these billionaires know it's here. you know? It's just when they want to flip the switch. And whenever we're ready, they're slowly adapting us to this metaverse thing.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And
it's going to it's going to continue to go that way. Everybody talks about. I don't know if you guys have seen a movie Ready Player One, but where people are living in that virtual reality world of where we're headed. I mean, I'm seeing
Exactly. Yeah.
they're already advertising it. What does that tell you? That means they've already invested money. We want to start selling and recouping and finding ways to, build our brand off of this. I mean, they spent how much do they spend in rebranding their marketing there? And to saying we're creating this part of us, and I think one of their products that Facebook had created, and which now is going to be part of the Meta, is the Oculus that they use.
Yep.
They changed the name.
They changed the name. It's rebranding it now, and they know how to find the right marketers to say sell this to the next generation that's evolving and more willing to do it. I mean, it's part of it now. There's no like I'm going back. I can go. I want to go back to the time. You have to change. The technology that you're holding in your hand is changing. Every single people are now like committing themselves to like my iPhones for the next 5 years. I'm upgrading of the upgrade plans and everything else. I got locked in value my trade in, and I can. What does that tell you? They're just waiting for the next one to come out. I mean, the 13's here. The iPhone 13's here now, and they've probably already been developing the 14 and or working on the 13S or the Max or whatever else are about to come out and resell and repurpose, and it's just continue to evolve and push, and it ain't stopping, man, anytime soon. So
And I think that's why it's so important, like as we talk about this conversation, not just for SMEs alone, but as a human being, like it or not, I know there's some people that, hey, I don't like social media, I don't like where technology's going, it's taking away my privacy. But this is no different than any other change in the past, like when the TV got invented or the radio. I mean, and I think all three of us were 40 plus here, right?
Yeah.
So we saw I would say all three of us experienced no internet. We experienced the dial-up phones, and I mean, it's come a long way. But if people think about it, it's just in such a short time. Yeah. I mean, 10 years ago. I mean, it's hard to think about this. Like, think about Facebook wasn't even that popular. It was new. It was MySpace days.
we are the lucky ones who had one foot in the analog world and now the other foot in the digital world.
And we're probably the last generation to experience that.
Exactly.
Like my kids, the other day, I think I found a CD or something, and my son is like, "What is that?"
Right. I mean,
this thing spins and give you music and video.
Yeah, he can't grasp like, oh, how does this work? What
It's
is
like
this thing?
it's like I just cleared out a cabinet not too long ago of old DVDs, and kids are like, "Why do you even have all of these?" I said, "Because that was how." I'm sorry, I didn't have Netflix. I couldn't stream what I wanted and buy what I wanted instantly on Amazon Prime. I had to, if I wanted to go watch something, I actually physically had to go pick up a DVD, a disc, and go watch it and return it. And what inconvenience now to think about driving to I mean, it's literally
used to be.
Yeah, ludicrous to think. I mean, in the world, there's only one Blockbuster Video left. One. That's still in existence, and it's only because
I think they made a documentary, right?
Yes, it was on
the last Blockbuster
on Netflix. It was a documentary, and it's like it's there for nostalgia. That's it.
And think about it. Remember how Redbox was so popular, and now Redbox is just dying.
It is.
What's that? What's Redbox? I have no idea.
It's the pretty much these kiosks where you can rent like DVDs, right?
Vending machines. Yeah. Okay.
And it was like the hottest thing just like 10 years ago, right? And now it's dying, you know? And if you talk about privacy too, so like recently my UHD TV was having some shadows. I was having some problems with it. And so I connected with Samsung through my TV. And the next thing I know is the rep, he's probably in the Philippines or something. And he's on my TV working on it. Like he dialed into my TV. So in reality, it's not just, you're not just giving up your privacy on social media. These people can hop on your TVs, your voice, any voice technology, your Xbox most likely, anything you have at home. I think you're already, as soon as you buy these technology products, you're signing up to lose a little part of your privacy. So I think it's hilarious when people are arguing about like Facebook or Apple, they're having this war about privacy. It's like they're all doing it.
Part of the community. You sign your privacy away.
Yeah, if they really wanted to, they can tap into every camera you have in your house.
And there ain't nothing you can do about it. Anything that's been created, any code that's been written that you can say is uncrackable, there's somebody that's working on it to crack it right now.
Yeah. And so my thing is like, when it comes to helping yourself move forward, dude, this is the world we live in, and you need to be able to build not just an offline community, but build an online community, because you're missing out on good people. As many things that are bad about technology, there's also a lot of goodness.
Oh yeah.
And I found like people like Nick, he's been amazing, right? And Junette and all these people. These people will take their shirt off their back and help you out. And they're all online. You're able to talk to them. They're real people, not some imaginary influencer.
Yeah.
And I have to say, the whole Viper group has been great. Everyone's really down to earth. None of us, I think everyone's pretty authentic. No one's trying to be something they're not, right?
Yeah.
The same with us at Bottoms Up. We are who we are. We'll tell you if we're broke and we need to borrow $10. There's no shame.
There's no shame in it, right? And that's all. That's just the way it is. Just to be blunt, it's just hey, that's part of what I do and what I coach with people. Is look, I understand you might want to start doing this, but you have a limited budget. Okay, cool. Let's work around it. There's always ways. I've literally had to find solutions to things, to kind of keep doing what I wanted to do that way. So, that's part of it, is just saying, hey, you know what, this is the reality of my situation right now. You know what, I don't have, $3,000 to invest in a home virtual studio. I can't have the Shure SM7B microphone. I can't, own the DSLR camera, the Canon camera with the nice capture card, and getting the $1,500 rig to kind of run everything, to do streaming. You can't. Sometimes that stuff, it takes a lot of time and investment, and it's expensive. Equipment is expensive, so I just kind of coach people on telling them, hey, start out with the things you can, and then kind of acquire things as you go along. If you're going to be doing this seriously, you can't. You can't just go and. I've had a guy that they told me a story about. They spent like $2,000 buying equipment to do a podcast that they only did like 4 episodes. I was like, God, I'm good. You must be made money.
And I see it every day, right? As a digital marketing agency, I work with so many brands, and they would spend thousands of dollars on studio. And honestly, they do about 4 episodes, and they're like, oh, Kevin, I don't see viewers. We only have 10 viewers. We're scrapping this project. Mm-hmm. It's like, you did 4 episodes. I've done 81. And I still have 5 viewers.
Well, it's like anything. That's what you got to tell them. That's what I've been telling people that have been asking me. This is a long game.
Yep.
There's a lot of LinkedIn influencers who don't like doing live streams and putting them together and doing the whole thing because they're like, I don't get the engagement. I don't get the reach. I don't get a lot of those things. And, I just usually tell them, hey, if you're not doing it the way you're doing it, you're probably doing it wrong. I'm pretty sure you can tear apart the posts that I write and put on there, and you tell me what I need to do to make it better. Cool. Just because you've tried live streaming like 5 times and only got so many people, even though you have like 40,000 followers and only had like 20 comments in the live stream, what does that tell you about what you're doing in about your network, about your community? I know people that have community members and people that are part of their live streams, and they can generate 700 comments in a live stream. Not too long ago, Brian Shulman did his, and with a lot of the same people and inviting people, and they had 4,000 comments in a live stream.
Whoa.
4,000 live streams in a 4-hour time period. So what does that just tell you about what you're, it's just like any post or any engagement pod that you might be in. What do you consider good reach? What do you consider organic reach? So is it about that? If that's what you're trying to do, you're not going to get that out of live streaming immediately. Sorry. It's just not going to happen.
And when it comes to building a community, right, it's like friendships, right? If you hold up your 10 fingers, we're all in our 40s, probably, how many true friends do you have?
Yeah. I mean,
Think about that. Can you fathom? And it always cracks me up when I talk to, because I work with a lot of small to mid-sized businesses, and I ask them that questions: how many friends do you have? Like real good friends, and they'll go, maybe 3. And I go, okay, so you expect to go online and you go have all these connections and relationships. Oh, you have a point there, Kevin.
duh, wow.
And it's like this wow moment. And they were
Yeah.
like, and I go, there you go. It's not easy to build authentic, true relationships. It takes time. It takes work. And same thing, if you want a community online, you got to put in the work. You got to invest.
That's why I think like 20 years ago, you don't have a job called community manager.
That's true.
Correct. You know what I mean? Since we talked about in the past and the present, right? That really gives you an indication how important the community can be, especially for, be it small, medium-sized enterprises or MNCs. You have a job called community manager, right? Usually it's a forum page, right? In the past, it was like forum admin, right?
Yeah.
So it's sort of evolved. Forum is more like, not for money. And then the commercial version is now a community manager. You see a lot of that for, games and game companies. But the point is still the same. You are trying to create an environment where people can give you the honest feedback within this community to collaborate with you. Doesn't matter, I'm the big company that is churning out these products. I want to hear from your true feelings. What can I do for you better? What can I create for you better? Hence this community. And people are very willing to give their opinions, their feedback, and that's very valuable for an organization. Any organization, it's free feedback, right? Or it could be complaint, whatever it is. But it gives you the direct feedback and touch from the customers who would be buying for you, who supports you at the very least, because they bother to be part of your community, sign on to into your community, get your newsletters, and comment and engage with you on topics. How great is that? We didn't have that channel in the past, right?
No, you didn't have all that.
So this is important. This is very important. Community.
Yeah,
That's why it matters.
Whether you put it under the guise of community manager or the head of inclusion and diversity, that's those weren't positions that were thought of 10 years ago.
No.
And now sometimes ID training is front and center for a lot of businesses. It's like, hey, we're doing inclusion and diversity training today. Guess what? You're going to learn that everybody has their part of it, and cutting out unconscious bias and all this other stuff that they usually talk about.
And I think as we're talking about this before we close tonight too, I think a lot of people are complaining about, especially in the U.S., I can't speak for Asia, right? The whole employment...
Go ahead, Kevin. Might as well just go ahead.
The whole employment issue, right? It's because, there's, unemployment or whatever, right? But the truth is, I think because of the pandemic, people are recognizing time is more valuable than ever. Mm-hmm. And is it worth it to go to work Monday through Friday, 8 to 5 on a daily basis and have a ceiling on how much I make? When people are getting smarter, especially the younger generation, I can build online community on these social platforms and make money.
Yeah.
Make a lot more money.
I can be a quote unquote an influencer. I can I can generate my own wealth. And
And Kevin and I are looking into doing live stream selling.
Yeah. Right.
The success, in China, we're exploring that. Sell lipsticks and all that.
Hey, let me tell you, I had a guy on one of my shows. His name was Junaid Ahmed, and he shared with us as we were talking about our live conversations, 2 streamers that were over there in China that made doing a live stream, right?
Yep.
Over $1 billion dollars selling product on a live stream.
Exactly.
So what does that tell you about this meeting we're in? Yeah, you can make money. Yes, you can become famous. Yes, you can become a lot of things. But it's like anything. You got to put in the work. You got to.
Hmm.
Those didn't happen. Those influencers and all those people that put in, it just didn't happen overnight. They've
Yeah,
probably
I
been
didn't.
working at it
Correct.
for years.
And before we end tonight, I think the biggest point I want to really, dive into tonight is Gabe brought up something that's very important. You don't have to spend thousands of dollars on anything. If you have the personality and you have value and you bring it on these platforms, that's it.
People will come.
Because the truth is, no one cared. People hop on my live show before I had my DSL camera. People hop on my live show when I had the computer mic. I actually had more people, I think, hop on my show. And then after I bought all the stuff, I think I saw a decline in viewership.
They realized you didn't look that good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a worse ROI, I think.
It's sharper, and then it's, oh, look, Kevin didn't shave. I'm gonna drop off.
Yeah.
In the past it was just blur, right?
Yep.
Right. They're like, oh man, what was I watching before? I don't,
Yep. And that's
sure.
so key. Like, I even see it in, like, it's weird too. Like, I'm seeing, like, even brands that we work with at my company, J29. Like, at first, everyone wanted these, like, real professional videos, and they were doing okay. And
You know
I would
why?
say
You
in
know-
the mid
You know why?
2000s, they were doing well. But nowadays, like, people want that real authentic, like, they want us to create the raw look. Okay, make it look like this is shot with a regular camera. So they hire us to film it like they were shooting it from the phone.
So you know why? I think it's because we've been conditioned to see high production stuff by professional camera crews, and people our generation were used to that, right? Just to see everything sharp and nice. So when it comes to actually doing videos, people start to have that expectation as well. So everything has to be sharp and nice and precise. But one of the biggest things, like you mentioned, right? One of the biggest things I think is sort of in trend now. People like to look at behind the scenes stuff. Yeah, that's
Yep.
where they have the raw footage, unrehearsed. This is the real you. This is the real celebrity behind the scenes. I think that gives a total different perspective, right? Because a lot of times we are more hung up about the right equipment, quality equipment, rather than the viewers. So just give them what they want. You don't have to have the best equipment.
Yep.
yeah, I mean, I got dogs barking in the background.
Yeah. It's
How
super
more-
authentic, right? That's
How much
life.
more authentic?
It
can
is
you
what
get?
it is.
Yeah,
It is what it is.
Unrehearsed, unscripted. That's what we are.
that's what you're
No,
gonna
and
get, man.
it's true. I think back in was it probably early 2000 when what do you call those shows, like the live
Reality TV.
reality TV took off, and ever since reality TV, I think people are like, we want more and more unscripted, more
The raw
authentic things. Yep. And I think
And
even
the
in
reason
the world,
why
yep.
the reason why reality TV were interesting was because these were regular people. They were not celebrities. You don't know them, but they all have a story. And the way they all interact makes it interesting because, hey, this regular guy is just like me, regular guy like me. You identify with one of them, right? And you root for them, be it the underdog or the most capable person or whatever it is, right? Of course, my reference here is with Survivor because that's one of the few that I watch. So that's why it took off. And I think, in a way, with live stream, it's kind of like that as well, because you just need to have the personality, and people will identify with, resonate with you, or support you, and that's where you build the community about.
And
Not the
I think
camera.
we're getting to a place where we're looking at an other wave, like Gabe was saying, where I think people are tired of these, influencers, with the large numbers, right? Because people get it now. And now the second wave was the micro influencers. But now you're looking at the third wave, which is more the everyday guys trying to just
Oh, you mean people like
Yeah.
us, the anti-influencers?
like us. I don't know
The
what we
anti-
are. We're not really micro influencers either. So,
Right.
What's more micro than micro?
Yeah,
Nano?
micro. Yeah, nano. There you go.
we can start a new term. We're the meta influencers.
Meta influence. There you
Meta influencers. And hey, and guys, you know, a little nugget for you. You guys should look into the metaverse. You know, the viewers out there, look into what you can invest in, because you know this is the early stages. I think it's going to be the next web, just like when the internet happened. There's a lot of money to be made, a lot of relationships and opportunities to be built, and hop on. You know, don't look at it as something that's going to be bad. Look at it as an opportunity. So,
Cool.
All right, guys.
That's what we got to do, man.
All right, I'm going to hop off here. Thank you, Gabe, for being on our show.
Thanks,
We
Gabe.
appreciate you.
We'll get you in for the third time with the full crew, yeah?
That's right. Full crew next time.
It's not the same without Eldrick. So,
Not.
Yeah, something's missing.
I like his honest, you know, negativity. It just makes the show that much better.
There you go.
Gotta agree.
We got to have Eldrick next time.
Yep.
We do.
So,
all right,
folks.
guys. Have a good night. Have a good morning. Later, Jeremy. Bye.
Bye.
All right, guys.
Bye, Gabe.